Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Hart. I'm the online editor with Labels and Labeling magazine, and today I am here with Linnea of TLMI, and we are going to be talking about all things committees. So I will have you introduce yourself, and we'll get on rolling.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it and appreciate the opportunity to be here with you today. My name is Linnea Keen. I'm president of TLMI, celebrating my 1 year anniversary in this role.
Ah,
And it's been quite a year, but a year of good learnings, good opportunities, and just always amazed by the membership that we have.
well, happy anniversary! I didn't even know. You
Thank you.
clearly stepped in a crazy year.
That is true. It certainly have.
So aside from your anniversary, which coincidental, but why I really wanted to sit down with you today was to discuss the committees that TLMI has, because I feel like maybe not everyone knows about them and they cover some really interesting kind of hot topics within our industry. So my first question to you would be, how many different committees are there, and I guess what do they focus on?
Thank you. Yeah, so TLMI is really a membership based organization, and that comes through the movement and the motions of the membership is through the committees. That's where all the activity takes place, and just love the energy and the passion that comes through. With that, we have 6 committees. There are a couple special ones I'll talk about that we don't meet every year or throughout the year. So one of the first that we have is membership, and that's focused on exactly that. So our membership, reaching out, the outreach into the greater industry and organizations for recruiting, retaining members within TLMI. So very engaging opportunity there. And that we have teamed it up that we have co-chairs on each committee. So then a TLMI member, staff member, is the one who also works directly with those. So Dale Coates, our engagement director, works directly with our membership committee. Then we have our marketing committee, and that speaks volumes for what they do. So they work with us on, marketing our social media platforms, ideas for coming in to share on our knowledge base within the membership. And we have Kyle Baldwin, our VP of marketing, works directly with them. Then we have our workforce committee, and that's all things related to workforce. And, there's continues to be an opportunity, an area of opportunity. And I'd also say a bit of a challenge for the industry. So really hyper focus on that area of what can we do to help support our member companies with surrounding the topics of workforce. We work closely together with Claudia St. John from Affinity HR on that workforce committee, and that one is led by works closely and taken care of by Lauren Walsh, who is our director of operations. We do have a subcommittee within workforce, and that is scholarship. So scholarship is focused around offering financial assistance to individuals out in the industry, as well as financial assistance for those who are interested in the industry, or we hope that they'll be interested in the industry and joining us. So our outreach goes out to technical colleges, and we want to expand that to high schools. So, trades are really becoming ever more important, and there's a resurgence of those and a high need. So, we have our scholarship fund where we award annual scholarships and continuing ed scholarships and financial assistance. Then we have sustainability, which was formerly known as environmental. We changed it to sustainability so that it would just be all encompassing and have that truly global nature of sustainability and the circularity. So that is works very closely with Rosalind Bandy, who is our vice president of sustainability for TLMI. So that one's a bit unique that we do have a couple of subcommittees there that are focused around matrix waste and release liner waste that is part of the industry and looking for that, as well as working on the real prevalent issues that may come together through sustainability, and that educating our members on the initiatives out there. Uniquely, Sustainability Committee works very closely with our Government and Regulatory Affairs Committee. Because as you may or may not imagine, a lot of things that come up through that government and regulations are also connected to sustainability and things that impact the environment. So Rosalind Bandy works together with a Government Affairs and Regulations Committee.
That's awesome. So now, as you went over the kind of your co-chairs with this, how do you decide members and your committee chairs? How does all of that come together?
I'm still learning all of that, by the way. So I'll tell you what I've observed over the past year. So we have co-chairs, and those co-chairs, one represents the converter members, and the other represents the supplier members. The nice part about that is providing, the good or the balanced perspectives of our membership. So because we're sitting at about 50-50 in converter members and supplier members making up our TLMI membership. And so with that, it's a nice complement to each other. Then they're able to reach out into their own, let's say subcommittees, which means back into, the supplier groups as well as the converter member groups. And then it's also raising up the ideas, the contents, the topics that are really, front and center for each of those. And I do realize that I also forgot one other committee whilst we were talking here, and I can't believe I did that, is our technical committee. So in the technical committee is one that, that really showcases that. And that's why that came top of mind now is we have such a strong presence within our technical committee of both the converters and the suppliers. And what is it that they really want for that technical content? What do they want the webinars about? And they've been reigniting, creating their own subcommittees regarding a connection newsletter that they're putting out every other month and the webinars that they're hosting every month. And that is totally driven from those committees.
Very interesting. So I realize I'm putting you a bit in the hot seat on your 1 year anniversary, but what kind of initiatives have come from these committees?
Wow. Okay. Yes, that is a hot seat. So um, I would say if I would reflect on it from the past year, just generally, we really relied strongly on our committees throughout the year, particularly the past 12 to 18 months when it came related to our virtual events that we've had. So our virtual annual meeting last year, which is hard to believe in November 2020 that we were doing that. And then our, spring summit, that the voice of the members came through those committees and what they were really wanting to hear about, what they were wanting to learn, and also the support that we received in promoting and attending our events. So that all gets funneled through our committees in different ways and different mannerisms. The committees in each of their own ways contribute to that. So for example, that the marketing committee, it was easy to say to them, hey, we need some support in marketing and promoting our event. So go out there on LinkedIn and just like and share, go crazy. So, or anytime we were coming up with ideas for that marketing campaigns, there was a lot of their input into that. Then, other initiatives that have come, we've had a lot of things, whether it was different letters, different laws or things that were going to be put in place, just a bit of activism, if you will, related that would impact the label industry. Those all came from government and regulations in that committee. So the awareness to it, then talking about how do we approach it, being co-signers in some of these letters where we were appealing to some state and local governments. There's I can't think of them right off the top of mind, but we certainly have had at least a half a dozen of those through the past 12 months. And it's just astounding to me. And I'm in awe because as a member, I was not really intimately familiar with that. But seeing it from my seat now, and where that just comes up through the committees and the membership, and that government and regulations brings it to TLMI. Roz raises it up. We'll work together with Brian Vickers from PACE, who's a lobbyist in Washington, D.C., who's advocating on our behalf. Also together with our own lawyer, and then write a letter, put it in front of the board, and then sign off on it, and making a difference of some of these items that come into that would impact the industry. And the other ones, another one that comes top of mind is our collaboration now and participation in C-Lab. So the industry-wide consortium regarding recycling, circular economy and recycling, being an active member in that together with TLMI members and non-TLMI member companies. It just feels, we're together making that presence. Our knowledge and all of our historical work that we've done within the Sustainability Committee is very active contributions to C-Lab and the efforts we're doing there.
Yeah, and particularly with kind of the legislative aspect you were just talking about, that is one of the biggest advantages of being part of an association because, as a converter or as a supplier, you might have these concerns and want to be heard, let's say, in Washington when it comes to this legislation, but you might not have the voice on your own. So
Right,
that's, I think, one of the biggest benefits of, okay, let's join together and we will make our voices heard.
right,
So that's
right.
awesome.
Yes, that collective voice is for sure.
So then what ultimately is the goal of these committees?
Well, that that is a process that let's say has been changing. So for Lori Campbell, who's our current chairman of TLMI, she committees as she views it, as well as do many others, including myself, as it's the lifeline of TLMI in the association. And she was that really drew her to join TLMI, and she was a very active member in the technical committee for years, and was part of the team that always put on our print think and our technical meeting that would alternate between Label Expo and the I guess it's the odd years of Label Expo. So you're very passionate about it. And what she wanted to do is just to really let's sit and let's rethink about our committees. Let's prioritize them. Let's get that infusion of energy behind them. And with that, we kicked off with a meeting earlier this year with the co-chairs, since we couldn't be in person. We had a virtual co-chair meeting, and we set goals for ourselves. So, one or two goals, and that was individual to each committee with the co-chairs for what they would be working towards. So those are their own initiated goals, and then the follow through. This year we will be in December having our committee meeting, let's say hopefully in person, and that's right, in person in Austin, Texas. And we're moving that timing from January to December so that it falls more in line with the planning calendar of the year, to say, let's reflect on what we've done. What do we want to continue doing, and what would we like to do or need to do, and also align it with strategy. So TLMI renewed board of directors renewed the strategy in May of 2021, and we're continuing to work on that, and we'll be sharing it more with the members. Hasn't changed too much, but just reaffirming our strategic priorities, and then aligning the activities of the committees to the strategic priorities. So we'll have that meeting in December, again, hopefully face to face, because there's a lot of energy, and it's nice to see all the members who volunteer their time and effort during that meeting.
Absolutely. So I guess on that note, how can people get involved if they're looking to join TLMI or one of your committees?
They can come at it from multiple ways. So express an interest to any one of us, contact any one of us on the team, and we're happy to share our love and our knowledge about the committees. They may know another fellow TLMI member and inquire about the committees, what they mean, which one might be right for them. It's always good to have a recommendation from inside and that inside perspective. We have information on our website regarding it, so if they just want to find out a little bit more there, they can. And they also can just come to the committee meeting and participate and decide if it's right for them or not, and which committee they would rather be on. So I would just say, really it's about reaching out and making the connections.
Yes. And people can come see you and connect in person coming up this fall because TLMI is going to be at Label Congress. Is that right?
That is right. Yes. So that's another way they could do it. So we're going to be at Label Congress in Chicago. We're going to be on the floor, the exhibiting floor. Don't know the booth number yet, but we'll find out. And there to just see members of the industry. It'll be nice to be back face to face. Of course, we're interested in promoting and encouraging them to join TLMI. Happy to speak about any of the committees, and just supporting the industry and the event that Tarsus is putting together to bring the industry back together, really for the first time since, I guess, March of 20. What is that? 2020? Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to do the math sometimes, right? So
Been a long while, so much overdue label reunion.
much overdue, and we're looking forward to it because the program looks really good. There's going to be some strong content there, and nice group of exhibitors on the floor. So
Yes. And I know you are participating on a panel. I am moderating a panel. So the viewers of L&L, you've got plenty to come see at Label Congress if you'd like
that's
to
right.
talk to each of us.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. It has been wonderful chatting with you. And thank you for giving us a little bit of education and a sneak peek behind the curtain of what your committees get up to.
Great. Well, thank you for your time too. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in Chicago.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and make sure to click the subscribe button at the top of the screen. You can see more videos from this playlist by clicking the video on the right or click the video on the left to see all of our other videos.